What's up, guys? User-friendly here. I had a couple people ask about how I play survival, or asking me like a guide, quote unquote. So I'm just gonna talk about some of the stuff that I do. Um, I'm not necessarily the best. I'm obviously not the best, but I have been playing survival for a while. I think 2X packs now. Um, and been pretty decent at it. Put up some good parses. You can check them out if you want on Warcraft logs. Petrichora server is Bloodhoof. I'll put that stuff down in the description. First and foremost, um, Sims. There's nothing more important that will have a greater impact on your DPS than making sure you're simming your character. Um, Also, in the description, I'm going to put a link to the Simulation Craft add-on, which I highly recommend you get. Typing /simc brings up a box, and you can copy this information and go over to RaidBots and paste that string into the website and sim your gear. If it's one piece of gear versus another, if it's talents, if it's Azurite traits, you can sim anything. You can also change the situations. Personally, I sim patchwork fight, single target, all the time. That's not the best, but it's easier for me. It's where I want to be, all the time. When I raid, we're doing heroic content. We're not doing any mythic content. I have raided mythic before. I could probably raid mythic content if I wanted to leave my guild, but I focus single target. Survival's decent AoE also. It could be better if you sacrifice some single target Azurite traits for some AoE ones, but I don't want to do that. That's what the Fire Mages are for. That's what the Demon Hunters are for. There's other classes out there that put out massive AoE DPS that I don't feel like I could ever be able to touch unless I significantly sacrifice single target DPS. So that being said, everything I do is single target. If I can make AoE better without sacrificing a single target, absolutely. But that is me. So we're operating under that assumption. Talents. The only things that are really situational or choices in the talent tree, Viper's Venom versus Alpha Predator. I go with Viper's Venom. It saves focus. And with Memory of Lucid Dreams and the refund, it's just it's better DPS, or it sims better at least. So Guerrilla Tactics versus Hydra's Bite. Once again, it sims on your situation. I like Guerrilla Tactics because it's a great filler. It doesn't cost any focus, so in the few down points in your rotation, you can throw it in. One thing to note, the Wildfire Bomb dot does not refresh. It does not get affected by Pandemic, which is the effect in Warcraft of, I forget what the percentage is, I think it's 15%. If you refresh a dot or a buff, it will take 15% of it and add it up to 15% of the what's left and add it on there. So if you refresh something that's under 15% of its duration, you get 100% of the new duration added on. Wildfire Bomb does not get affected by that. If you have 3 seconds left on your Wildfire Bomb dot and you reapply Wildfire Bomb, you are wasting that 3 seconds of dot. With a Birds of Prey, Blur of Talons, single target Mongoose Bite build, this isn't so much of an issue. You can take it into consideration in your rotation, but sometimes you have a GCD available, and Wildfire Bomb is the only thing that you can use in it because you don't have enough focus to kill command or Mongoose Bite, and kill command's on cooldown, and your target is already Serpent Stinged. So you want to throw a Wildfire Bomb in there, otherwise that GCD is wasted. Most people are going to go with Natural Mending. I recommend natural mending under most circumstances. It's survivability. I like running fast, so I use Trailblazer. But that's It's preferential. Bloodseeker is absolutely necessary. Post haste also preferential, but for the freeing you from movement impairing effects, I highly recommend it. Mongoose Bite is almost required. I don't know how good these other ones are going to be, but if you're not using Mongoose Bite, this entire rotation changes. So you pretty much have to use it. Same thing with Birds of Prey. Wildfire Infusion is a viable choice, but using Wildfire Infusion completely changes the rotation. You have to learn how to change your priorities based on the situations that it raises, depending on which of your wildfire bombs is going to come out, and I'm not a fan of that. I like the single target rotation with Birds of Prey, and this stacks with Blur of Talons that increases your agility and your speed. That stacks up forever. Well, not forever, 5 stacks, but between that, Blur of Talons, and Memory of Lucid Dreams, yeah, you basically have a significant uptime on your coordinated assault. So that's Talons. Azurite traits: Blur of Talons, Blur of Talons, Blur of Talons. Nothing sims better than Blur of Talons. If you can get it on everything, you want it on everything. Under that, Latent Poison sims well. Wilderness Survival, you need 1 stack. Primeval Intuition is very useful. 1 stack of that. The Heart of Darkness is new and very useful. It's probably a toss-up between that and Latent Poison. I had Latent Poison on for quite a long time, but the gear that I have now, I don't have the option, and Heart of Darkness sims better. So my helm, I have the choice between that and Blur of Talons. That's simply not a choice. It's not even an option on my shoulders, and my chest, it's not an option either. So, but yeah, the Wilderness Survival, you're gonna have more wildfire bombs than you need, but at lower levels of haste, Wilderness Survival becomes better. But you definitely don't want more than 1 stack. It's not gonna sim well. I don't. Maybe it might. I don't know. It adds Mongoose Bite damage, but like I said, sim it, guys. Always sim it. Whatever your sims say, go with. This is me at the moment. Weak auras. To me, one of the most important things in this game is weak auras. You need to know what is going on, and the Blizzard UI is simply not sufficient to give you that information. My UI is very busy, and it's not for everyone, but it gives me all the information that I need right at my fingertips. I'm gonna go ahead and explain what each one of these does one at a time here. Here is my Mongoose Bite timer. It's showing me visually how much time I have left on Mongoose Bite. The performance of survival is contingent upon you getting as many Mongoose Bites off at 5 stacks as possible. That being said, the second inherent thing behind that is you have to generate as much focus as possible and make sure you're using that focus as properly as possible. So generally speaking, you don't want to have kill command not on cooldown. So you need this information. This over here is my Blur of Talons stack timer. It's kind of outdated. I should probably get rid of it because it's not really used. There's not really a whole lot of time where you're spending not using Mongoose Bite when you have the chance, and there's never going to be it's a 5, I forget how long, 6 seconds? 6 seconds. There's never going to be a 6-second window where you're not casting a Mongoose Bite. It's just not going to happen. So I could get rid of that weak aura, but show all my loaded weak auras here. This is my Mongoose Bite timer. This is a Serpent Sting reminder. It's much more important if you are if you have latent poison. I don't have a stack of latent poison at the moment. All that basically does is it shows me if Serpent Sting is currently not on my target. You can see it pop up. I don't have one to show me that Viper's Venom is procced, but I do have an aura down here. This is the duration of Viper's Venom. A lot of times you will be in the middle of a Mongoose Bite window, and you'll get a Viper's Venom proc. Conventional rotation advice is going to tell you to never Mongoose Bite with a Viper's Venom proc, because every Viper's Venom proc, you don't use focus. Not only is it extra damage, it's 250% increased damage, it also doesn't cost any focus. And when you're in your coordinated assault and you're in your Mongoose Bite window, that 20 focus can mean another Mongoose Bite. So you want to try to avoid casting Serpent Sting without a Viper's Venom proc, pretty much without fail. I'll have a good 10-15 seconds of a fight go by without even putting my Serpent Sting back up again, just because it's not worth the focus. If it's that or a Mongoose Bite inside the Mongoose Bite window, it's always going to be better to use Mongoose Bite. If you are in your Mongoose Bite window and you can use a Viper's Venom proc without sacrificing either the generation of focus with Kill Command or putting another Mongoose Bite into a window, then feel free to put it up. But most of the time, I haven't done the math 100% on this, but if you have coordinated assault up, I'm pretty sure that using Serpent Sting without a Viper's Venom proc is a DPS loss, even if you spend 10-12 seconds without Serpent Sting on the target. Even using it with a proc can be a DPS loss if it's that or spending focus to get one more 5-stack Mongoose Bite strike in there. You want to get the Mongoose Bite strike. The only time that it's feasible to cast Serpent Sting is outside. An unprocced Serpent Sting is outside of your Mongoose Bite window and outside of coordinated assault. But if you do that right, if you play the spec right, you're not going to have a whole lot of time outside of your coordinated assault window, especially if it's on a single target fight that doesn't involve a whole lot of movement. This is my coordinated assault is available icon. This is my Gale Caller's Boon trinket that I'm currently using is available item. This is my carve is available. Down here you have 2 different Wildfire Bomb weak auras. One of them shows up when Wildfire Bomb is off of cooldown and my target is currently not affected by the Wildfire Bomb. That's so I don't wipe over my Wildfire Bomb unless I have to. The other one I have is a bouncing aura. That means Wildfire Bomb has 2 stacks and I'm wasting cooldown time. Inside your window, it's preferable to use a Wildfire Bomb to fill a GCD hole where you're waiting for focus. Because you will occasionally get that. The time where you don't have enough focus to Mongoose Bite, like right here. You can either wait the half a second for Kill Command to come off, or you can Wildfire Bomb. Same thing right there. You're wasting the dot, but you might as well, because you're not going to get another gap to fill in with Wildfire Bomb for quite some time usually. So it's not the most efficient use, but the DPS of the rotation is focused around keeping your coordinated assault up as long as possible. The other ones I have, I'll show you here. My weak aura that shows coordinated assault is up. It shows a timer of how long I have on coordinated assault. Also have my macro here for my cooldowns is a cast sequence for coordinated assault and then memory of lucid dreams, in that order. So you pop coordinated assault, hit it again, it's memory of lucid dreams. I waste a little bit of focus, and then I hit my other button for Gale Caller's Boon, and then it's Mongoose Bite, Mongoose Bite, Mongoose Bite, for as long as you have focus. If you watch your focus and you're going to go down, you want to drop one other ability, either a kill command or a procced Viper's Venom, because you want to make sure that you're not using, in that window, you're not using anything but Mongoose Bites. The point being to extend the duration of your coordinated assault for as long as possible. Anytime that you get a kill command proc, so this is the intricacies of the rotation. If you have a kill command proc, 9 times out of 10 you want to make sure that you use it. It's more important to generate focus than anything else. The exception being if you are getting ready to finish a Mongoose Bite window and you have time to throw one kill command or one Mongoose Bite, you want to make sure that you're throwing the Mongoose Bites into that window. It's okay to let kill command stay on global cooldown for 1 more second if it means getting another 5-stack Mongoose Bite in there. So I just cast 2 Wildfire Bombs in a row. And if you look here, we're getting to the end of coordinated assault. We have 20 seconds left, so we just stretched that into 1 minute and 40 seconds. And that's what this rotation is about. That's what this spec is about. Getting as many Mongoose Bites into coordinated assault as possible to extend it as long as possible. With Bloodlust, it's very possible that you will extend it past its cooldown. I've done it on most of the single target fights in Heroic. So it's fantastic DPS. At the end of the Memory of Lucid Dreams there, you want to make sure you keep in mind that all Memory of Lucid Dreams is doing is increasing your focus regeneration. So you want to get as many Mongoose Bites in there as possible, but you want to remember that you're doing it so that you don't waste focus. If you get to the end, where you have 2-3 seconds left on your Memory of Lucid Dreams, you want to remember that you can start your general rotation there, because it's not about Mongoose Biting while Memory of Lucid Dreams is active. It's about making sure that every drop of focus that gets created with Memory of Lucid Dreams gets used on a Mongoose Bite, so that you can extend your coordinated assault as long as possible. One thing that I needed to get used to, and you guys might have the same problem, is choosing to hit Serpent Sting, a procced Viper's Venom Serpent Sting over Kill Command. See, we did the same thing. About 1 minute 40 without food, without raid buffs, without Bloodlust. That's just with the haste from the spec. for the longest time, I've been prioritizing Serpent's Sting, honestly, because it lights up, and Kill Command only lights up for a second, or when it comes off of cooldown, the same time that you have a proc, you tend to want to hit the one that's lighted up, because that's what they put it in there for. It's to show you, hey, this is a beneficial thing. But like right here, you want to hit Kill Command and get one more Mongoose Bite in that window before you use that proc. So you need to prioritize Kill Command. The more focus you generate, the better you're doing. That's all there is to it. So yeah, that's what I do. That's how I raid. I'll have some more videos. I'm gonna video the raid tonight. I'll maybe talk over some of those heroic fights to get you guys a feel of how I play. But yeah, that's the general gist of it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Or links to anything, I'll be happy to paste out my weak auras. A lot of them are just stuff that I've made myself. If it's something that you guys think is useful, let me know. When it comes to stat priorities, I always eat haste food. Agility flasks, obviously. Haste is a priority because you're stretching out that coordinated assault. You want the cooldowns as low as possible, and the focus generation as much as possible. But beyond that, sim, guys. Hands down, always. So, yeah. If you guys have any questions, let me know.